VACC complaint against Bautista. So sinasabi ko lang po, well, number one, the rules actually contemplate that defects in form can be rectified. Kaya nga po ang sabi, pwedeng ibalik sa complainant if found insufficient in form. Pero in this instance po, ang VACC already filed a motion to admit a substitute verification that complies with the wishes of the Justice Committee, and there is no legal hurdle for the committee to admit that because what is being substituted is only the verification. There is no amended petition, there is no second petition, it is still the exact same petition that was referred to by the committee, by the SecGen and the Speaker of House to the Committee on Justice.
What's different with the new verification? How did you change it?
Literally the words, not just personal knowledge, but based on authenticated documents.
Still similar to the Alejandro complaint and the VACC. Because sir, I think yung Alejandro complaint was accepted as sufficient and form, but there was a caveat saying that in the next hearing we would be more we would be
rigid.
Stricter.
Yes.
We would be more rigid. Kaya sir, dun sa VACC, hindi na siya binanggap.
Correct. Ang basa ko rin kasi, it was easy to dismiss the VACC complaint because the first complaint of Gadon had already been found to be sufficient in form and substance. And it says the exact same allegations as the VACC.
Yung verification na bago, sir, is it the same as the Gadon complaint?
Well, yes. The second verification is the same as the Gadon complaint. And my point is, there is no obstacle for the committee to admit it.
When was it filed? The substitute?
Oh, it was filed on the day of the hearing of the Sereno complaint.
So you saw the defect, so you corrected it immediately?
Well, I did not. It's the VACC.
Yeah, they did.
The VACC filed that motion to admit substitute verification.
Sir, another problem, another concern is the personal knowledge. Mrs. Bautista is saying that she has personal knowledge, but she's not a complainant. Diba, sir, yung personal knowledge should be personal knowledge of the complainants.
Her affidavit is appended to the complaint, and the reason why she is here today and she will be there tomorrow is so that she can attest to the affidavit if the committee wishes.
Is that enough, sir? Diba, isn't it considered hearsay?
No, because being a sworn statement, it is a public document, and the affiant will have personal knowledge, if not the complainant. And of course, the personal knowledge as to documents is she has all the originals.
Kung di ba yung question din, it's not so much on the wordings, but the person who's verified. In that case, the Alejandro complaint was verified by the complainant, or
It was the Alejandro was complainant and endorser at the same time.
Now,
And she did not.
Case, in the back VACC complaint, considering that they are not members of Congress complainants.
No, the only difference there is the Alejandro complaint was endorsed and filed by a congressman. And the observation of the committee was that he could not have had personal knowledge because the matters that he mentioned in his complaint were all based on news reports. Now, the allegation of VACC against Chairman Bautista, number one, take note, there are 4 grounds. The Comelec, the cheating, and the allegations of Tish Bautista. As far as I'm concerned, on the allegations on WikiLeaks, Comelec, and the allegation on cheating are based on personal knowledge and authenticated documents because they also appended certified true copy of the decision of the Privacy Commission as well as affidavits of individuals who have something to do with the election cheating. Take note that former Congressman Jerome Paras stood as a complainant because he himself, he feels, was cheated. And the Comelec did not do anything. And that's the second ground that he's relying upon. As far as the grounds of Mrs. Bautista are concerned, sure, they have no personal knowledge, but they appended a public document, which is the affidavit. And that should not be a problem because Mrs. Bautista is here and will be there tomorrow to affirm the contents of her affidavit as matters being of her own personal knowledge, if the committee wishes.
How about kung the correction was made after the referral?
Well, you know, we will have jurisprudence. We have jurisprudence in my written statement to the media today, no, that at any time matters of form can be rectified. That's the same rule, whether be it a criminal information or in civil proceedings. No? That's a common rule which has been repeated over and over again by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court distinguishing between the verification itself and the certification against forum shopping. As far as the certification itself is concerned, the Supreme Court has consistently been liberal. The rule is technicalities should not be made to prevail over substantial justice. So ito pong pakiusap namin. Tungkol po sa integridad ng isang taong nagpapatakbo ng eleksyon natin ang pinag-uusapan dito. Kinakailangan naman po bungkalin dahil ang nakasalalay dito, demokrasya, hindi lang po pera-pera.
So why do you have the feeling that the committee would jump the complaint?
Well, I guess it's because the chairman, Congressman Umali, was interviewed in a major station today, and I heard it, and it appears that the committee is predisposed to dismiss it. But then again, I'm hoping that in the same way that the Alejandro petition was found to be sufficiently informed with this verification, that the individual members of justice would actually stand up for justice and would allow the petition to continue, because that's the only way we can find out the truth behind the allegations against the Comelec chairman. Take note that as an impeachable officer, the most that the ombudsman can recommend is an impeachment if the allegations against him are found to be correct, because the rule is you have to impeach impeachable officers before you can file the criminal cases against them.
So yung evidence from the NBI, have you submitted them to the committee?
I believe the NBI has already submitted, if they will not submit it, no? But that's my impression.
The NBI has submitted certified true copies
To the committee na?
to the committee. It's on its way because they're required to submit it tomorrow. May I just add, I think what we're all forgetting is Chairman Andy Bautista himself has said that he is willing to answer all the allegations against him in the proper venue. So, if the accused, or so-called respondent himself, is looking for the proper venue, this is the proper venue. Dito siya magpakita ng ebidensya. Hanggang ngayon, outside allegations that his family is suffering or his children are traumatized, the chairman has not said anything about this 1.2 billion, nor has he presented any evidence at all. This is now the opportunity for the Committee on Justice and for the only institution that can really ferret the truth and find out about an impeachable offense. This is the opportunity to do so. We cannot dismiss it on a simple technicality because you, myself, Patricia, the congressman, will never know the truth. Until 1 year from now, pag na-dismiss po ito, we will have to wait for 1 more year in September of next year until we can file another impeachment complaint. What will happen? There will be barangay elections. There will be opportunity to divine a law, to corrupt the whole system. I think you will have lawyers coming out to say that something has to be done about a system that allows a law firm to corrupt judges, justices, and to corrupt the Comelec. So this is the proper venue. And we are saying that what else do you need? The truth of the statements there will be verified personally by the person who executed the affidavit. The authenticity of the documents themselves will be attested to in due course by the NBI that is now investigating the authenticity. That will never come to light. You will never know the truth of this unexplained wealth if it dies on round 1. Kumbaga sa boxing fight, na knockout na kami, round 1 pa lang. Wag naman sana.
Did you ever consider filing an impeachment complaint against Chairman Bautista?
No. As I said, I brought this to the NBI in the form of an affidavit. And again, I'm not a lawyer, so I really just wanted to bring to the proper authorities I brought it to the President himself because of, again, based on my experience and what I've been told specifically by Andy is that, he has many friends in very high places, and so I did not want to take the risk. So again, he is knows a lot of judges, a lot. I've said it many times. Do I want him to be impeached? I think I want to know the truth, as do all of you. And if it leads to that, then that is a judgment that I will not make. That is a judgment that Congress will make in due time. So that's where I stand with this. I think I've done my part as a private citizen, and I trust that everybody else will do the same.
Why is it that parang you're relying so much on the impeachment complaint when the process is political na?
I think on our...
Di ba? Kasi you already filed
You know,
a case.
sir.
You want to know the truth. Then let the criminal case.
It cannot because he is an impeachable officer. Kami po, bilang lawyers niya, we said there are many cases we can file, from plunder to disbarment. Marami pong kaso yan. But precisely, he is an impeachable. The only way you can hold him accountable is through an impeachment proceeding. To remove him first.
How about the other ball players like Divina and we can always file to
It will not proceed. It will have to await the outcome of the impeachment case. So, alam niyo po, matagal na ako nanggigigil kung ako lang final ko na yung mga kaso na dapat i-file. But precisely, we have to follow proseso. Proseso yan, nasa batas yan eh. He clearly is an impeachable officer. And that is really our frustration. Because now, the progress of what is true will now sink or swim with the strength of the impeachment complaint, which we had nothing to do with. So that is why we are here to support.
ilan taon pa ako si Andy?
Napakatagal pa po.
Ilang pang eleksyon yan, ano?
2023, di ba?
The Comelec itself,
2022.
in fact,
He will supervise the next presidential elections if he's not impeached.
if really he has the integrity, and we understand that there already is a memorandum of the commissioners themselves who have asked him to either resign or at the very least take a leave, because we have a coming electoral process. If the allegations we have here are true, that Smartmatic and Divina Law and the chairman himself are involved in some conspiracy of sorts, that will put the next electoral process in question. So, dapat it should be decided soon. Again, we have nothing to do with the politics. We do not want to know. That is for the Congress to decide. We are just here. There is an affidavit that she found, that is based on documents that she herself has found and is slowly being validated by the NBI, which is authenticating the veracity of these documents. And because madami ngang na-unearth, hindi lang nung panahon niya nung Comelec, pati yung panahon niya nung PCGG, may katagalan na po. Otherwise, we would already have filed simultaneously, maybe, plunder cases against everybody concerned. So, again, this is an appeal, a personal appeal of Patricia, and she will say it again.
So again, as a private citizen, over and above everything else, by coming here and bringing these documents and affirming my affidavit, I'm doing my job and my duty to this country, and I trust that all of you do the same, and that you allow it light to basically allow all of these documents to surface and to prove their veracity and to see the truth, because at the end of the day, I think that is what we are all after, and that is all that this is really about. It is trying to figure out what the truth really is over and above everything else, and this is, as Lorna was saying, the best venue for that. This is supposed to be really a place of justice, so let it be that.
Kumari, aside sa nilong po, it appears na parang binubutasan yung complaint mo agad. Ano bang assessment nyo? Ayaw ko ba ng House leadership yung sa in-endorse yung impeachment complaint. Ano assessment niyo?
Well, tatapatin ko po kayo. Hindi ko po alam kung anong ang kagustuhan ng liderato, no? Pero ako, umaasa po ako na dahil lahat kami ay politiko at lahat kami ay sumasapi sa eleksyon na sinusupervise ng Comelec, that we all have the common interest to ensure that only men and women of integrity and probity sit in the Comelec to supervise the next election.
Hindi ko kayo sinabihan ako na ituloy ito.
Wala naman pong ganun.
Panoorin.
I've not had anything other than encouragement.
Clarification lang sa akin siya. If the case is dismissed tomorrow, ng Justice Committee, the Justice Committee will be presenting its report to the plenary. Pwede pa rin ho ba yun na matalo yung committee report? And
Pwede po.
impeachment will be elevated to the Senate.
In fact, that's the next battle po, no? Whatever the decision of the Justice Committee may be, it will be reported to the plenary. If the impeachment complaint, despite the finding of insufficiency, assuming, is found to be sufficient by 1/3 members of Congress, then the article of impeachment will still be filed. But I'm confident that my fellow congressmen, my colleagues, will not allow technicality to defeat the truth. I'm confident that they want clean and honest elections themselves and will allow the process to continue.
Sorry, Attorney Kapurlan, when we hear lang to the ombudsman process, I understand ay fact-finding po yung ombudsman on this. How do you think the outcome of tomorrow's impeachment proceedings would affect, or how would that be, pwede siyang ipagsabay dun sa fact-finding investigation conducted by
The ombudsman called us to a hearing last Friday and asked for originals of the documents that they have been. Kasi ang source ng ombudsman, because wala namang complaint filed there, except for I understand, an impeachment wrongly filed by a certain Attorney Lozano. It has been brought to the attention from various media results, all of these anomalies, and ombudsman has been asked. Unfortunately, there is an impeachable official here, no? So the ombudsman has to await the impeachment. Plus the logistics of presenting the originals to the Justice Committee and to the impeachment while the ombudsman is doing its own complaint. Kasi sabi ng ombudsman, gagawa sila ng lifestyle check, no? So they are proceeding with the lifestyle check of all the people involved. But as to formal proceedings, we had deferred it. They had agreed to defer it until such time that the NBI submits its report to the ombudsman. So yun ang nangyayari. It is not as if we have stopped trying to seek other venues. In fact, more and more we are unearthing other documents that sadly will involve other election practitioners who have given the same referral fees. We also have unearthed certain parties in the Comelec who can attest to the fact that there was wrongdoing involved concerning the chairman as to the outcome of their cases. Slowly, although we do not have the resources as the chairman does or as Divina Law does to have their own trolls and social media and to take care of what is going out there, we are just relying that lies, the problem with lies, and they are beginning to realize this, their lies are quarreling with the lies, with lies. Lies quarrel not only with the truth, but they quarrel among themselves. So the lies that they are telling you in the media are now starting to quarrel with themselves. Sinabi ni Chairman Andy na ako daw, with armed goons, and with the wife, charged into the condominium and forced open a safe. That is not true. That is a lie. Because even Divina Law said that those documents And he said, Chairman says that I manufactured documents. That is a lie because Divina Law, the lawyers for Andy Bautista, said that there are documents, bank documents, and they do not belong to him. They belong to the mother. So what is it? Are they authentic documents belonging to the family, or are they manufactured documents? So slowly, as time goes on, this will surface. Unfortunately, the only court we can present this is the impeachment court. If that does not happen now, we will have to wait 1 more year where evidence might disappear, another elections would have come and gone, and other people who should be witnesses can be persuaded to probably suddenly forget what the truth is. So,
Babalik ako doon sa tanong mo, no? Narinig ko yung ilang mga kasama ko, huwag ka nang mag-impeach kasi magre-resign naman yan. He has repeatedly told many members of Congress, I will resign. But I guess my colleague should know by now that he has changed his mind. He will no longer resign after discernment. But at the time when he was saying, I will resign, ang tinatanong ko sa sarili ko, bakit pa kailangan i-defer ang resignation? The answer may be because next year in January, the Comelec will again decide whether or not to enter into another agreement with Smartmatic. I will leave it at that. Okay? So, okay, maraming salamat po sa inyong pagdating. And again, I know that it's very difficult for you to cover this because you have IPA. We appreciate your effort to be here. Good afternoon.
maraming salamat po. Thank you, sir.
Ha? Konti na punta sa IPA. Dito pala kayo.